Hi guys, I'm Clarice. I hope all of you are doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about how to maximize children's learning through play. As parents, we always have questions about how do you maximize our child's focus, their productivity in their play, how do you continue their love for learning, how do we help support that? And so I'm going to give you some helpful hints as to how we can support them and educate and make sure that we are partnering with them in their learning. So the first thing is make sure you are sitting at their level. Make sure you are at their level. So you have to make sure that, especially if it's an infant, for example, that all of their basic needs are met. They don't need a diaper change, they don't need a feeding, they don't need a nap. So now they're ready to engage in play. So what we do is we sit down or we lie down next to them. We make sure that they can see us and we can see them, so that when they look up, they can reference to you, right? They can smile at you, and they can show you what they did. You know, a lot of times maybe they'll get frightened by something that they're doing, something new, and so that they'll look up to see if, you know, this is okay, is this not okay, to see how you react to it, and that's how they will react to whatever it is that they're playing with. And so that's the first thing. Make sure you are at their level. The other thing is making sure that we are providing undivided attention during this time. So there are no unnecessary distractions. You want to make sure that your phone is not next to you, right? A lot of the times if we have our phone next to us, then we want to see if we got a text from somebody or look through social media real quick. This time is about you and your child. And so it doesn't even have to be very long. It's probably, you know, about 15-20 minutes throughout the day you are doing this, where you are just with them and being present with them. And so this helps to build attention, because when they look up, they can see you, right? They check, kind of like they check in with you, and then they go back to their play, right? You're helping them refocus and re-engage. One thing to remember about children's play is that during play, they're leading it, right? They're in charge. Children are very competent and they are driven to learn. And so what we do during their play is that we follow it. We follow their lead. And so we don't need to spend time thinking about what toys we need to give them during this moment in time. Or, you know, if they're already engaged in something, okay, we need to, you know, wave a toy in their face. You need to play with this, or you need to do this with this toy. Let them play. Let them figure out what they want to do. Let them be in charge of how they want to play with it, right? So this builds independence. This builds confidence in their play. You don't have to believe that you are the entertainer, right? We already have, as parents, we already have very limited energy. And so we don't need to use that energy to do something that is not really necessary, right? Children are very smart. When a child is actively engaged in play, I don't interrupt, right? We're, again, like I said before, we're not entertainers. And so I want to make sure I maximize this time, because this is the time when, especially when they're really busy and they're really focused, this is a very important time. I really want to respect it by allowing them the opportunity to have that space and that time. If they look at me, then that's an invitation to play, right? If they smile at me, they show me something, then that's a cue. That means they want you to join them, and that's great. But if they're not doing that, if they're not looking to me, if they're really focused on what they're doing, then I just leave them be. I sit, I watch, and I observe, and I remain available until they do invite me to play. And if they don't invite me to play, that's okay too. The last thing is making sure that our children are active participants in their play. And this means that we are observing what they can and cannot do for themselves. So in this example, I'm reading a book to my child, and I know from observing his play that he can turn the pages on his own. He only has difficulty lifting the page off of the binding. And so what I do to help or support him is to lift up the page, pick one page, lift it up, and then he can turn it on his own. When children are able to do things for themselves, they build confidence. They start to believe that, okay, I can do this. What else can I do, right? So we don't need to do everything for them. That's not something we don't want to teach them we don't want to teach them to be helpless. But what we are doing is supporting their learning. And this requires us to really pay attention to what is it that they need help on, and what can we do to provide maybe the smallest bit of help so that they are able to do it on their own. So I hope these tips are helpful for you and you are able to apply it to your everyday life with children as you engage with them in play. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.